with friends. With friends. With friends. With friends.
A team is fun, but I'm afraid to lose.
Don't worry.
Team up with friends. Rank up faster, rank up faster.
Go and rank up.
Radiant protection. Go and rank up.
Bonus points.
Go and rank up.
Double challenge point.
All you up for you. No matter what, just team up with friends.
Just team up with friends.
Just team up with friends.
Here's Messi, away from 2, 3, 4.
The world's best player shows us just what he's about to get.
Is this on? Oh, great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my secret lair. Everything is getting put together right now. Perfect. This here is testing stage that ensures your safety during your ride. They are currently debugging the hub. See how it goes. Boy, it is powerful and agile. That just makes me want to give it a go. Only after careful inception will the equipment be ready for release. All of this equipment can help you achieve victory. Get ready. Join us now.
Disfrutar el juego.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're currently tuning in to the official broadcast of the PUBG Mobile Global Championships 2022. And we're currently tuning in to day number 2, or should I say, the last day of the Last Chance qualifiers, featuring 16 teams and only 5 will move forward to the main event, which will happen early next year. And of course, joining me right here is none other than Mafioso from Team A7. You guys know this. They're currently in second place. So you guys had an amazing performance yesterday. 1 winner chicken dinner. And of course, you guys stumbled a little bit on game number 2, but so far overall, number 2, right? So are you confident that you'll be playing well today? And how is the team looking right now?
Então, ele parabenizou a equipa por jogo muito bem feito ontem, que estão no top 2 e com uma vitória de chicken dinner. O que vocês vão fazer hoje? Estão confiantes que vão ficar na mesma posição?
A gente está muito confiante hoje, porque a gente vem trabalhando muito para trazer um bom resultado aqui nessa Last Chance. Então, hoje a gente vai fazer o mesmo jogo de ontem e acredito que hoje vai ter mais vitória do que o jogo de ontem.
So, yeah, they're very confident for the game today because they'll be playing hard for the Last Chance, and they will try to do the same game as yesterday, but with more wins for today.
Wow, there are more wins for today. That is definitely something that we look forward to. And of course, of all the 3 maps that we'll be playing for the day itself, which one is your team most confident and comfortable with? And what problems do you face on the other 2 maps? Or are you just really good at all the maps, would you say?
Então, tipo dos 3 mapas, qual é o melhor mapa para o vosso time e qual é o problema que vocês enfrentam nos 2 mapas? Ou se vocês vão de bem em todos os mapas?
Acredito que o nosso melhor mapa é Arangel e os nossos 2 piores são San Roque e Miramar. San Roque devido ao nosso spot, que é no centro do mapa e muitos times caem ao redor, pode travar a gente. E Miramar devido à nossa rotação atrasada, que os spots são bem no norte do mapa.
So for them, Arangel is the best map for them, but San Roque, and they have a problem because they land in the middle, and then all the other teams are around them, so it's very hard to fight all of them. And for the last map, they always go for the north, so sometimes they lose some time doing the translation, so they will lose time to get to the center.
Great, amazing analytics on what they feel as a team right here. And of course, how are your teams plan to stay in position 5? Of course, we know that the top 5 will move forward to the main event of PMGC. So are you guys going to be playing more aggressive? Are you guys going to play safe? Tell us, what is your plan for today?
Então, qual é o plano para o jogo de hoje? Vão jogar mais agressivos para continuar no top 10 ou vão fazer jogo mais retardado?
No jogo de hoje a gente vai jogar no mesmo estilo de jogo, para garantir o top 1, a gente quer o top 5, mas a gente quer o top 1, ficar em primeiro lugar, vai ser muito gratificante para a gente. Então a gente não vai evitar de trocar tiro, se a gente tiver que matar, a gente vai matar. E espero vocês aí na busca desse top 1.
So for them, of course, they'll play the same game, but even for him, it's they'll be more aggressive today. Because of course, they want to be in top 5, but they want to finish today as the top 1 team.
Wow, they're not stopping at number 2. That sounds very, very positive coming from Team A7. Now, last question right here. Now, if the teams are hearing this, anything you want to say to all the other 15 teams competing here at the Last Chance qualifiers for PMGC?
Então, como última pergunta, quer dizer, qual é a mensagem que você quer enviar para os 15 outros times que estão aqui jogando o PMGC?
A mensagem que eu queria enviar é que para eles tomar cuidado com a gente está muito confiante. A gente vem treinando bastante, estudado bastante eles e hoje a gente vai mostrar o poder da nossa bala.
So the message for all the teams is for all them to be careful because they'll be studying all the different 15 teams here, and for them to be very careful because if they see them, they'll be shooting at them.
Wow. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. A7 is coming for you. Thank you so much, Mafioso, for that amazing interview. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kickstart match number 1 in a few short moments. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this with, of course, with the host and analyst. And we'll see you guys in a bit. Take care, guys.
Bye.
It is the final day of action here at the PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2022 last chance stage. At the end of our next 6 matches, only 5 teams will be joining the rest who have already qualified through into the biggest event of the year, kicking off in January. And it's going to be a lot of money on the line, a lot of pride on the line, and of course the title of being the #1 team in the world. I'm your host, Jason Kaplan, and we have the cutie boys next to me of Maxman and Sandstorm to break everything down that's been happening yesterday, which was an extremely exciting day, and of course it's coming up today. Cutie number 1, that's you, Maxman. How's things going to be going for you?
I thought you were going to be mean to us today, but no, I'm feeling fantastic, Jason. I'm feeling amazing. And, you know, good day yesterday. I would also have to say unexpected day yesterday, because the teams that are at the top, I did not expect to be at the top. Like, all the favorites, a lot of the favorites are still in the middle, some are even at the bottom. So, I mean, who knows who's going to be the top 5? I have no clue. It's going to be up in the air.
It really is. It really is going to be up in the air, and especially with the, I don't know, I guess there's a lot of pressure on the last teams currently representing their regions going into the tournament as well. So looking towards Enigma Galaxy, the last Arabian, Titan as well, the last African representative, Damwon Kia, the last Korean representative or South Korean representative. So a lot of pressure on these teams and only 6 chances to prove themselves now.
Yeah, 6 chances, and that's pretty much happening with what, or it's a culmination of what happened yesterday in the positions they set themselves in. But you know what? You at home, they need your support. The fan vote is going to be ending today in just a few hours of time, so make sure you're watching within the Esports Center and use those tokens to vote for your favorite teams. I believe S2G was still #1 last time I checked. We might have a change happening over the course of today. Maybe DRS Max can get on the board.
I think there's a chance for them. I put my vote in. No, I'm not going to lie, I put it in for Game Lord, because you know what? Got to give a little bit of hope to my home team eventually, right? But yeah, it was
now they're your home team. When they're doing all right,
hey, I always hope, okay, but my expectations were a little bit all over the place, okay? But I am Team Narvalo today.
Well, you know where my fan vote went, Maxman?
Who? Tell me.
I went over to Sony Xperia, because the Sony Xperia 1.4 Xperia stream is made in collaboration with professional esports players, and you can play PUBG Mobile in 90 Hz with Xperia Stream's total cooling system and multiple ports for intensive gaming and streaming. That's where my vote goes. Sandstorm, where did your vote go?
My vote went for Maxman because he's an amazing analyst and he's dressed very nice today. I'm here to counteract some of Jason today.
Yeah, a really cool transition.
John, can we get one of them in here for Sandstorm? Also, a big shout out here to Pullman Kuala Lumpur Bangstar Hotel, where our world is your playground, while the players are getting to stay at and getting to chill and relax at. And by chill and relax, I mean none of that, because they're sitting there intensely reviewing all the VODs from yesterday and trying to prepare for what's on the line today. One way they can do that by preparing is with Prime Gaming. You can get some exclusive in-game free PUBG Mobile items, some premium content, of course, the other benefits with Prime Gaming as well. But as we move forward here, Max, I'm a little bit worried for some of these teams, to be perfectly honest. I know they say this quite a lot, but for me is the fact they don't have any of the Maserati skins just yet, which is going to be available till the 31st of December here, which you can get while playing in-game. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty sweet car. It looks pretty damn good. And you know what? If anything, it's almost guaranteed to make you top 5 here.
I was told officially that if you do have the Maserati skin in-game, you'll get official extra style points, okay, added to the mix. Ooh. So I want to see if you can get some extra style points on board. But
and as we know, style points is the tiebreaker between teams after chicken dinners, placement points, eliminations, how big your roster is, who's the tallest team, who can eat the most pierogies, stuff like that. But you guys at home should be following us over on social media with all the official PUBG Mobile esports channels. But here we go. These are the teams that have been participating. If you missed out on yesterday, well, you missed out, honestly, on a crazy day of action with a lot of unexpected twists and turns. But here, we can see a couple of teams. I mean, this is maybe the highest we'll see some of the teams. Like LGD, for instance, in the 2nd place here. Not looking too hot when it comes to the overall leaderboards.
It's super interesting, really. I think that Sandstorm, as I already said earlier, I think that this first day came very unexpectedly for a lot of the teams that are currently at the top. Like, we'll look at the leaderboards later on, but DRS have been able to absolutely dominate in yesterday's matches, and are just looking hyper aggressive, and it's been paying off so well. And well, Navarro, he's just a team on his own. He just keeps on surviving. It's insane.
He really does, yeah. I mean, look, in the first game yesterday, he managed to get 6th with 3 eliminations for his team. And again, he managed to repeat the performance in game 4, managing to secure 3rd with 13 eliminations. He had, I think, 4 or 5 for himself in that one game. So consistently, we're seeing him being the last person alive for his team. And the fact that he's securing 10 points, I'm pretty sure that there's more that he's going to be able to get today. But a very good performance and a very good start for them on day 1.
Well, we have to clarify as well, those are points they've gotten as the only player remaining for their team. So pretty much Navarro got a fifth of their points in total by himself alone, which is obviously insane by itself. But as we look forward into our top 4 smoke users, kind of makes sense. I mean, Maxman, we've seen like walls of smokes, we've seen them utilized in so many different ways. Yesterday in particular, I feel like we could even see the map at some points because of the amount of smokes we had down. But IHC, 96 is ridiculous.
I think that what IHC have done really well throughout all of this tournament so far is that they're really good at using smokes to wall off fights. Like, for example, if a team's on 2 of their sides, they're going to just smoke off one of their sides, make sure that one team cannot spray them down anymore, and then they're just going to put 100% focus on the team that's on the other side where the smoke are not going to hide their vision. And I think that's what they did extremely well on this first game, where they were pushing, I think it was on bacon time, and also negating visibility bomb Alpha 7 on the side. It just enabled them to make in a second place, but then the DBS, off squash happens, and I don't know what you're supposed to do against that, but not much.
Well, I mean, it's obvious,
apparently.
right, Sandstorm? The only way to beat a DBS is to use a DBS.
Exactly. If you can't beat them, join them. And that's what the server has been doing so far. After seeing so many fights being decided by that DBS, like we've seen yesterday in the first game, Inko versus LGD, just outside of match, and LGD didn't know what hit him at that point. And I think just every single team started to pick it up bit by bit. And I love seeing those close quarter fights with the DBS. You think you have an Uzi? You think you're going to win? No, just get one pump and that's it. You're done. You're dead. So let's see if we're going to be seeing the same impact from that again on today's games, or our team's going to be bringing something special.
It's insane how the DBS... Oh, okay, this was a weird one. I would love to know what was the shot call of that player. Like, let's just send us a 3-cart in a compound with no smokes and just get sprayed down by Mao Mao from LGD. That was... Hopefully we're not going to see that again, but it was also pretty damn funny, and Titan, of course, did not lose that game. But the thing is, the DBS is also being used at mid to almost long range from time to time. Like, it is go really fast, so even at mid range, you're not safe.
Yeah, there you go.
There, right there. Perfect example.
I mean, you mentioned Titan, Maxman. Really interesting to see as well. Like, if they end up qualifying somehow, because they're currently, as you can see, in 5th place, that 6th match of yesterday, I think, is going to be the real page turner, the one that everyone's going to look back on, because Axer, unfortunately, couldn't play that last match. It was 3-person team for Titan, and they ended up winning things and catapulting themselves into 5th place. That in itself is a great story, and hopefully Axer today is going to be able to help continue to build that momentum with this team. But DRS, Alpha 7, IHC, Inko, and Titan, all are top 5 at the moment. But Maxman, Bigatron, 6th place. It's possible. It's still there.
The hope is there. The hope is that, like, literally, if BTR qualify, I'm going to lose it. I will be so hyped to see them in the Grand Finals LAN event in Jakarta. It doesn't get any better than that. It will be the best PMGC and the best PMGC Grand Finals, Jason. It's peak fiction.
Sandstorm, Maxman did say off air yesterday when we were done with the show that if BTR qualify for Jakarta,
not my eyebrows.
He is shaving his eyebrows.
Ah, okay.
Oh, wow. You know what? Now I really want to qualify and go like straight up into 1st place. Looking right now at DRS and Inko, these two teams, I'm just going to brush right past that. DRS and Inko have been absolutely sensational. DRS for sure. Yesterday, by the way, was the best performance that we have seen from DRS in the PMGC. 81 total points, 32 eliminations. Not once have they been eliminated in the bottom parts of the leaderboard. Every single time they've been in the top 7, with 4 of those games in the top 4. They're doing exceptionally well, and not what I expected compared to the performance that we've seen before. So definitely going to be on the lookout for them in these games.
Yeah, and I think, Max, like, if we look at DRS, I mean, obviously we see them around for multiple years in a row. I didn't really have them this high on my radar or this high on my rankings when I look at the rest of the teams they're competing against. But I am pleasantly surprised, but I do worry. Going into today, can they replicate that performance? Yes, they built up a 30-point lead between 1st and 5th place, but I'm not sure if they can do this back-to-back 2 days in a row.
I would have to agree. If you're looking back at DRS and how they played in the group stage, I think that DRS is like, no, middle of the pack. I didn't expect them to qualify in top 5. But this new DRS 2.0, is playing hyper passive, but the moment that they flip that switch, they just go in super aggressive mode, start clearing zone after zone after zone, and taking as much space in the circle as they possibly can. It is a team that can now convert chicken dinners. I mean, we saw it yesterday in that, what was that, game number 4, 10 eliminations and a chicken dinner, followed up with a 4th place, a 3rd place. On game 2, they got a 2nd place. They just keep getting these top 5 finishes, and when you have such a short tournament, only 2 days of play, that might just be enough to remain in that top 5.
Well, let's actually take a look at your teams to watch. Maybe either one of you do have DRS actually in there. Oh, okay. Well, Maxman, I'm glad I threw it to you to talk to about him. I didn't even know you had him as a team to watch, so we know exactly why you're going with them. Game Lord, I'm kind of guessing because you're French.
Exactly.
French. And then Bigatron because you don't want to lose your eyebrows.
Also, then, do I have to speak for the segment? I don't think so. Sandstorm, why?
Several reasons. Besiktas, they managed to get themselves a chicken dinner yesterday, but 4 of their 6 games were in the bottom 4. So that chicken dinner did give you a chance to keep fighting and stay alive in this tournament. But other than that, it's going to be very difficult for them for the rest of the games. HVVP, we've seen them come back again. Chicken dinner, huge improvement on their performance. But which HVVP are we going to be seeing? The one that drops north side of George, gets a decent amount of points, like we've seen in days 1, 2, and 3 of the group stage, or are we going to be seeing the one where they drop on the west side of Millie Base and just completely get no points whatsoever? And Inco, need I say more? I don't know what to say about these guys. I said they weren't going to get into top 5. They already are. I believe they're going to make it, and I'm just going to leave it there.
To talk
well,
about let's go for it.
Sandstorm did say that if Inco do qualify in top 5, he's going to shave his eyebrows. So
I like this. This is good. I like this change of pace. We'll do that. 100%.
I was complimenting you like 2 minutes ago. You should be on my side, Max. What happened?
There is no sides here on the desk. It's everyone for themselves.
No.
Maxman, what were you going to say about HVVP?
So I want to touch on HVVP because I was able to look back through the VODs a little bit yesterday and through the map feed, and I really think that the main issue I pointed out yesterday is really coming into be the main issue for them, which is they are just a little bit too slow on the rotations. Like a lot of the teams that play Edge are just so quick. They really are. They see the circle, boom, everyone almost instantly in their cars, playing Edge circle. HVVP, especially if they go for secondary drops, they're just a little bit slower to get in the flow of things, and they just get gate kept so often. I think they had 3-4 games in a row yesterday where they just get gate kept, and they just could not get in any strong position. I think if they just speed things up a little bit, they'll be there, because technically the entry points are good, just a bit slow. So if they speed things up, I think we can see the new HVVP we wanted to see here.
Okay. Well, you know what? I mean, hopefully they've been able to realize that as well and have been able to figure some things out to improve here in that second day. It wouldn't be a PMGC in my eyes without HVVP there. There's also a couple of other teams. I mean, Sandstorm, we've got Vampire Esports in 15th place. Didn't expect that to happen considering what we've seen from them in the past. Enigma Galaxy in 13th place, Besiktas in 12th place, LGD in 11th, and even Reject Damwon 10th and 9th respectively. There's a lot of these big name teams and big players that we've seen just over the course of this event alone that just haven't been able to perform in that first day.
I mean, sometimes it can come down to there's a lot of pressure on the teams. It can come down to not having the international experience in these tournaments, and it can also come down to the fact that we have the best teams in the world, and there's bound to be some teams that are not going to be able to perform on that level. But sometimes we do get surprised with, for example, like you mentioned, LGD. They had a strong start in the group red, and then not being able to make it into the grand final, struggled a little bit, but they performed very well in the survival stage, which is kind of what baffles me a little bit. Is this the group green effect? Whenever they're teams from group green or their LGD just can't do anything?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question, but you know what? Maybe our casters can answer that question, or just let the gameplay alone answer it, because we're going to be heading over to our commentators to kick off our first match here of the day, our one of 6 remaining matches here in our last chance stage. So John Allen and Blink, take it away.
We are over the midway hump and we are going downhill, and we will not be stopping. There are no brakes on this train, Blank. We're inexorably drawing to a close here in the last chance stages, and all of these teams, they're trying to hang on for dear life.
They are 100%. I mean, there's not many places you can hang on. Some of these teams are on the outside of the train as well, so it's getting real windy out there, and there's a tunnel coming up, so they got to duck their heads, make sure that they can make their way through these last 6 matches. There is some teams that I worry about massively. I'm looking it down towards the bottom of the leaderboard. Vampire Esports, 25 points, Bacon Time. The 2 Thai teams joining one another arm in arm in the bottom of the leaderboard itself. I do think that a comeback can still be made, but it will be very difficult to make happen. LGD, on the other hand, known for that type of bounce-back nature. They're very elastic, very trampoline-like. We'll see if they can hit those numbers today and get themselves up towards that top 5, because yesterday there were some things that just weren't working out for them. But heading over to our angle, our first match of the day, and it will be all concluding in 5 more matches after this.
Oh, it is all to play for. The same set With Axa back in for the Titans as well, they'll be playing at 4 players strong, which is good news coming off of their chicken dinner yesterday, which saw them up and into 5th place at the end of the day, just about pipping out Bigitron on a tiebreaker, with, of course, that chicken dinner being the deciding factor. So it is still very, very close towards the top of those tables. And very, very hotly contested by quite a lot of teams. As you were saying before, Vampire Esports and Baker Time, they will need that step up. But we've seen them seen it from them before that they can have that sort of gumption, and they have had those pop-off days.
Looking at this playing path, it's very awkward, honestly. Down towards this south side doesn't give a lot of people the opportunity to get up towards the northern edge of the map. VPE is going to drop out towards Primorsk. It's going to be difficult for HVVP to get up towards North George. They're going to go to their secondary drop down towards Sosnovka. Now, yesterday, we saw they had a much bigger improvement when they were able to get into those circles early on. This might not afford them that same kind of chance, but a lot of times when they're playing on the northwestern edge anyway, it is a long haul down towards the eastern side of the map where we've seen a lot of these circles drop. A western circle could work out for them here. Similarly for VPE, we're improving their gameplay from the center side, especially on that Miramar where they took a very central position. But this circle basically favors absolutely everybody. Anyone can get towards this spot nice and easily. It does keep the majority of this bottom part of the map in, which does make things a little bit harder for anyone towards that Sosnovka military base in the first place. Getting across those bridges is going to be a little bit more difficult considering there's going to be complications in terms of gatekeeping going on.
Will be pretty tricky, those vehicles, hotly contested, I imagine. Vampire splits and uncontested, actually, over towards Primorsk. No one dropping out at that stage of the playing path that early on. They will not have any contest for that spot on the tables. Of course, if you want to be getting on board with Captain Messi, he is joining the PUBG Mobile Battlefield. Stand out on the battleground with the Messi football icon set. Grab them in PUBG Mobile now.
100% worth it as well. Looks very cool. Flavor's 100% rocking it over on the interviews. He looks very, very cool as well.
Jealous.
I'm jealous. I'm 100%. I wish I was wearing that today. It would give me the comfort, the ability to take this all the way to the end. In the meantime, Besiktas going against Inco at the moment. Squash will try and run down one of the players and is successful with it. Looks for one more. Enjoy quite low. Let's get away. Squash able to take down Peace. Almost going for another here. And with this vehicle, he has a really good chance to actually take down the whole team.
It's like Zessi does manage to pop the reload there. I knew that these vehicles were going to be contested. I didn't realize it would be full squads contesting for a couple of these vehicles. Looks like that backup did come through. Inco lose one. I think Besiktas also losing one. They will be able to res there as well. So both of these teams fully disengaging from this area and figuring out where they're going to want to go further forwards, because they both now have 3 players alive. Inco, 4th place on the tables. 12th place is Besiktas.
Yeah, Inco's still at risk at the moment, considering their recent performances, which is a case of 2 games has made up the majority of these 54 points. That is slightly worrying, but something that does not worry me whatsoever and makes me very happy, in fact, is that tomorrow, December 5th, we will be seeing 2022 PMGC special crates releasing all the way through to January 8th, so make sure you get your hands on those whilst you still can. But it is all back on this one right now, this match, this day in particular, where we'll be finding out exactly which top 5 teams will be heading through to the grand finals. Honestly, it is getting a little bit scary as we're seeing we have much more info to go off from yesterday. And again, like I was saying with Inco, 2 matches make up the vast share of those 54 points they have. Now, they could take a similar approach today where, they get 2 games and they're very happy. They see themselves secure towards that top 5. However, this is now the adaptation day. This is where teams have figured out what's going on, what works, and they will have looked at yesterday. They will have looked at Inco's rotational paths, where they're finding these easy positions to get in towards the circle, where they're sending central as well, and maybe even looking to cut those rotations off or even pick them up for their own. And Inco, although very good in the macro, decently good towards that end game and picking up a lot of eliminations, usually they do it where they are the 4-man squad. They're essentially taking down 3-man squads, 2-man squads, and it's a lot easier for them to actually hit those kind of numbers that way. This time around, I think Inco will find it a little bit harder to get those easy positions towards center, and already losing 1 player sets them back at that disadvantage.
HVVP on that south side, they did drop out to their backup drop over on the military island, all the way on the south coast. Kitsune looting up on the docks down south. Potential for them to I guess, like boat rotate, but it's more likely that they're going to just take that bridge on the western edge. Down one, central in apartments is a pretty powerful spot given the circle as it is. A lot of space on the northern side of the river hasn't been taken though, Blank.
Yeah, I think with the plane path as well, that's kind of a likely thing to have happened here, which is where Severny shooting range all very free. HVP may have made a different call if they'd known that the circle was going to head this far towards that northern side. They might have even taken all the vehicles that they could, considering this lobby is very eastern centric. A lot of the western side isn't taken up by teams, so they could have easily picked up some vehicles towards that western coast, headed up past LGD towards North George, then had a good game of it. Either way, I think this is the numbers play. This is the one you go for. It's the most consistent. You're not relying on the circles a lot of times. It still gives you a lot of loot. You can get looted early as well. You don't want to be in North George towards that 4-minute mark with absolutely no gear on you whatsoever, and then forced to make a very hectic